Good evening, it's Driven AF Recovery. We've been gone for a couple weeks. Well, we are back with the big group.
With the fucking crew. I like it.
We're gonna talk about remaining teachable in recovery, and I think that just generally goes for life and period, if you wanna get anywhere. So, I'm Maddie, as usual.
Steve.
Dennis.
James.
Josh.
Brian.
Milo.
We are here with you, I'm just gonna say a quick memorial, because I feel like I should. Alex was on a couple of our videos, and we were mourning him the last couple of weeks. Wasn't really feeling doing this. I don't think any of us were. It's another loss that really hit all of us hard, I know. I just wanted to put that out there. He was a great guy. He put a lot forth coming here on Christmas and another time, because he wanted to. And you will be missed, and just rest in peace, Alex. With that, what you got, Steve?
Alright. Spotting in, I like it. So, it kind of came up in our alumni group tonight. Just Corby brought up the remaining teachable aspect of all this, and I don't know. What came to mind for me is that, as some of you guys pointed out, I was not very teachable at first. I was cocky. I thought I knew everything, and that nearly fucking killed me. Legitimately killed me. It kept me from having my ears open. It kept me from taking suggestions. It literally hindered a lot of shit. And it wasn't until I really, was made aware that I didn't know shit, and that I had a lot to learn. And, then through that, it kind of became like I can just always continue to learn and continue to learn more. And no matter how good I am at something or how long I've been doing for something, there's always room for improvement. So therefore there's always more to learn. And I think that's just kind of like a mindset I've adapted, not just for recovery, but for life, in my career, in being a father, in being a good person, and just learning new information and learning new ways to help people, learning new ways to better myself. I always understand that I can never know enough, and I can never stop learning on anything. And that's helped me a lot thus far. And it was a big switch for me, because I was a big ego, not very teachable person. But I think the first part of that was just finally having life humble me enough to where I got to that point where I was like, okay, I'm willing to shut the fuck up and hear what people have to say and learn, and realize that, that's the best course of action going forward, is to continue being teachable and continue learning. No matter how long I'm clean for, no matter how long I do something for, I can always learn more, and I know that now. And I think that's a big part of why I'm in the positions I'm in today, and why things have gone very well for me. It's just because I know, I don't know everything. I'm never gonna know everything. And I think I'm never gonna get to a point and that I feel like I know everything about any specific subject. And I think that's one of my I don't know if you call it strong suits, or one of my good personality traits, is that I'm aware of that. I'm never gonna get to a point where I wanna stop learning, or I think I know everything, or I think I can't stop learning, because to me that's when I die.
That's how I do my recovery. That's why I read every day, 30 pages or more. That's why I listen to shit in my car, even though I love music, because I know I don't know shit about shit half of the time. Even with working out, it's been 34 years of it, I still learn shit all the time about that. I've been obsessed with it for my entire life. There's always more shit to learn. That's kept me right, along with all you guys, the AA readings, that's part of it too. Everything's part of it, but it's just, information is there if you want to have it. And I've just made it, it's got to be a daily thing. It's a couple hours in the car, and it's at least half an hour at home when I wake up reading stuff. And a few books I read every morning, and then another one I make myself do a certain amount of pages a day of. And it just helps. It helps me learn how to do a better job at living life.
Yeah, to be honest real quick, that's kind of you're kind of a big person that instilled that in me. Because I look at you and a guy who's been, lifting and powerlifting for so long, the fact that you were still learning and adapting and sharing that stuff with me after you've been at it for so long, I was like, dude, this is a guy who I looked at like, this motherfucker knows everything, but like, he's still willing to learn on a subject that he's been fucking mastering for a really long time. I was like, what, you know, like, I don't know, so I kinda learned that from you as well, you know, or like that, like definitely reinforced that. I was like, wow, no matter how long you've been doing something, like you can always learn and make improvements, and so a lot of that came from you, bro.
You know, like that thing you gave me, that reading that you sent me that I printed out, like, that's just like, that's awesome stuff, like, and that people, you know, like, we all share stuff, it helps us, like, I gave it to Josh, like, I'm just giving it to my clients now, like,
For
it's.
absolute.
Yeah. I mean, that's great, and it wouldn't, you know, like, it's just sharing good information with each other.
I'm gonna need that.
Yeah, we'll say that.
I got that,
It's honesty, unselfishness, purity, and love. You know, and what does that tie in with is like, if I don't remain teachable, then I'm not gonna, I'm gonna think that I know everything, and then there's no application. Like, I'm good, I could just rest back, I could just chill. You know, I could be in a place where I gain a whole bunch of knowledge and I learn a lot, but if I don't apply it to my life, then there's no transformation. Like, a mind full of recovery still won't keep me from going out there and taking that drink or drug. It's about how I put in that footwork throughout the day, and experience shows. You know, we're celebrating you hitting 2 years. You know, congratulations to you, Stephen. That's why this topic got brought up, is because remaining teachable, we could hit milestones like 2 years. We could hit milestones like 10 years. It's possible to stay sober the rest of our lives, but it's about applying this knowledge wisely that we get on a daily basis. And I struggled in early sobriety out here in Joliet because I've always been a guy in Alcoholics Anonymous. And I come to alumni for ECS, and I had to be honest with myself, like, hey, I'm closing off the knowledge that I could gain from these amazing people around me, because I'm so focused on one program and how that's the only way, and I know best, and I'm sitting here in judgment, and I'm sitting here like, these people need to listen to me right now, and I have like 2 months of sobriety, you know? Yeah, so that's just me, how I got real with myself, like, hey, I gotta tone it down. Like, I have, my experience shows that I can't even get over 4, 5, 6 months of sobriety. Obviously there's a problem going on when I have some knowledge from coming in and out of the rooms and coming in and out of treatment centers, and obviously I've learned some things and it's not wasted time, but I haven't applied it, so I should take a step back and I should listen to these guys, and I've gotten so much from you guys from doing that. Because if I get closed-minded and I think that there's just one way, then I'm blocking myself off from helping others in those other areas as well, who may be closed off to some other areas, to show them like, hey, this is how I was reacting to certain things where I was closed-minded, and from opening up my mind, then I've gained all these amazing relationships with people around me. I've learned new things. I've gotten some new tools to apply to my daily life to really be able to transform into the man that I am today. And it's a continual transformation. Like, there's always, like you said, there's always more to learn. So, application is the key to remaining teachable, in my opinion.
Executing on it too, on the knowledge. I harp on that a lot, but without execution, a plan or knowledge really means nothing, right? But you said it, the footwork and the work, that's all, same difference.
I remember when I first got out of ECS 1, it was like my last week there is when it kind of hit me that I knew how I wanted to live, I knew the life that I wanted, and I kept telling myself, like, well, I know what I gotta do, you know, I just, you know, I go home, I can't fall into my sister's trap, you know, just playing with people, I just can't do drugs, that's all, you know, thinking I can go back to my life, my old lifestyle, and just not do drugs, I'll be alright.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And like, you know, like, I would listen to a lot of different people, at the alumni, but like there was like just three main people that I would actually like really focus and zone in on, and that was, you know, it was Maddie, Wes, and, Justin. You know, those are the guys that like stood out to me, you know, that I was like, okay, I can learn something here. And I would actually start soaking in what they were saying. And like I said, my last week there is when I kind of realized, okay, I don't know shit about
Fuck.
yeah. I know how to be a fuck up, I know how to be a piece of shit and junk. Like, but like, I know what I want to do, like I know the life I want, but I didn't know exactly how to do it. You know, and then listening to my counselor and doc, you know, telling me like, well, if you go back to Berwyn, you're an idiot. You know, and he's like, if you make it back, he's like, I'll see you soon. That's what you know, I kind of realized like, okay, yeah, I need to just shut the fuck up and listen, like, and start like learning. And that's when I went to, you know, I decided, all right, well, I guess I'm gonna go to fucking sober living. You know, never done that, so I didn't know shit about that, you know? Went to sober living, and I just, you know, I focused on, you know, just sitting back and learning, instead of always saying, yeah, I know, oh, I know, you know, yeah, I already knew that. You know, and Justin would pick me up all the fucking time.
Gave everybody a ride.
Yeah, he'd call me, what are you doing? I was about to watch a movie. No, you're about to go to a meeting, dude, I'm actually in the driveway right now.
Sounds like nice.
I look out the window, hey, yes you are. So I learned a lot from him, you know, I learned a lot from Maddie. Learned a lot from Wes, you know, and Doc, and hanging out with Doc. And, you know, that was what Doc always, you know, he'd always tell me, like, you know, just stop talking all the time and just listen, just soak shit up. You know, you may not use it today, you may not use it a year from now, but you'll use it, you know. And when the time comes, you'll be, you know what, I remember, I learned this, you know. And since then, I've remained teachable. I want to learn as much as I can, because you said, your knowledge is fucking, it's limitless, you know. Doesn't matter if you have fucking 30 years in psychology, you're always gonna learn something else. Like you said with fucking weightlifting, there's always something to learn, like always. And since I've like decided that no matter, you know, what it is I'm doing, I wanna learn everything about it. You know, I've been so much better off. Cause I used to argue with Doc all the time. He'd try to explain something, and try to show me how to do something.
I have to.
Oh man, dude, I get under
We
his
don't get
skin.
very far.
He's like, this is how I already know how to do it. You know, but no, this way is easy. Man, he would get so aggravated. He you know what? Just walk away. Finish this conversation later. You know, but I've gotten better at that. You know, and I realize that, you know, even if I know what it is I'm doing, I'm still gonna sit back and listen, because there's still something that I can be taught.
That's part of the beauty, oh, go ahead, man.
No.
That's part of the beauty of the books and podcasts. You're getting like someone else's entire life experience. And you can read it for free or listen to it for free. Sorry. No.
I mean, one of the big things for me is, like I said, you know, it's kind of the same thing. I mean, like, I just sit back and I listen. I mean, you look at me, I really don't talk that much in the meetings or anything else. You know, it's kind of just trying to take in as much as I can to decipher, you know, because I'm always trying, now that, you know, I'm always trying to figure out what I can do to, you know, better myself, better our situation, better, you know. And I do that with my recovery too. Like, it's one of the big things I want to do. I want to keep on bettering myself. I look at guys like you and be like, okay, well, what are they doing? Man, this could be me. You know, I want to work. You know, I keep on working towards that. But I mean, I remember as a kid, I've always been told, never stop learning, never stop learning, never stop learning. And I was always like, oh, you're full of shit. Like, you know, like with my trade, I don't need you to tell me what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. Yeah. I mean, that's just where I'm at. I mean, with my recovery right now.
Yeah, I remember I used to be as bad as you.
What do you mean? Me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe not. Maybe not
He said,
bad.
I don't know.
I couldn't.
But I thought, yeah, I always thought I knew what was best. I knew what was best for me. How the fuck can you tell me what's good, what's best for me? Like, who are you to know me inside and out and know, like, what is the best fucking avenue for me? You know, how do you know my best fucking terms of learning, or, you know, what I know and what I don't know? You know, and that was the attitude I had coming into ECS.
Me too, the third time.
Yeah, like, that's why it took me 40 years, 39, 40 years to even be willing to get treatment, because it's like, you know, well, who the fuck are you? You know, how is your life so fucking perfect that you can sit down and tell me what my fucking problems are and how to solve my problems? Because you have a piece of paper saying you're qualified to do this? You know, where the fuck do you get off telling me how to live my life and what I'm doing wrong? You know, like, and that was the attitude that I had. You know, is I know what I need. You don't have to tell me.
Yeah, well, one of my
Defiance.
things was,
Yeah.
you know, kind of the same thing, but you tell me how to do it, I'm gonna do it my way, and I'm gonna show you, and that's,
And then when I fuck up, I'm gonna find a way to say, no, you're still wrong.
you're still wrong, but
I
I'm
was wrong, but I wasn't right either.
Yeah, no, I fucked up in this one spot, you know. Yeah, you know, I remember you were bad, dude.
I know.
Fuck, man.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, everybody at the table, brother.
Yeah, I
But I
know.
love you.
We
I
wouldn't
don't
tell
have-
you shit.
I don't have any problem admitting that today, but like, that's what, like, I don't know, there was a definite shift in mindset because, I mean, and I think too, because like, I think I've always kind of been like that, but like the fact that I was through like 7 different treatment centers, I was like, oh, I've heard this all before. What are you gonna tell me? I've been to rehab 14 times, I've heard the same shit, you know? Been here my 3rd time. That was my attitude coming here my 3rd time, was like, this is my 3rd time here, I'm not gonna learn anything new. That was literally what I said to myself as I was coming in here. Like, I don't expect to learn anything new, but like, obviously, I need more rehab, you know?
Like, you know what, and I think, like, I saw the difference too in you, like, you know, like you said, you had heard it so many times, but did you really learn it?
No, and like you say, I didn't apply it, I wasn't, and that's the thing, like, I was hearing it, but like, I wasn't hearing it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I saw that difference, like, when you actually, like, started listening and learning. And
That's
like,
'cause Doc
you have
helped me be
fucking
aware.
come so far, like, you have made so much
I
fucking change.
appreciate that, but I credit that to Doc, cause he made me realize very quickly that I didn't know shit.
Well, no, I helped, I put you on restriction too.
Yeah, a couple times. But I'm saying, like, while I was in rehab though,
Yeah.
he even, you know, and then, yeah, you guys kept reminding me that I didn't know shit while I was at the Silver Living, but, yeah, it was kinda like a rude awakening, like, you know, like, I don't know if it was like over in one specific session with him or over a few, but yeah, I would like come out of there and cry in the shower and be like, well, I don't know shit.
Yeah, Doc's
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
he can make a motherfucker cry.
Well, obviously, like coming into a treatment, tearing our lives apart,
Yeah.
damn near toward death. Death, for some of us, and getting revived back to life from Narcan or whatever the case may be after being hooked up to ventilators.
Yeah.
Like, self is the problem. Like, my self brought me here, so I need
Yeah.
to exclude self out the equation, or else self is gonna get self-killed.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Doc made me realize that, like, yeah,
Definitely.
you know shit, you know about getting high and nearly killing yourself, but you clearly don't know shit about anything else, and I was like, maybe he was onto something, I'm actually listening now, you know. Anyway, Raph?
How badly beaten do we have
Me? Very badly.
to remain teachable? Like, where does that fine line draw to where we're willing to take a suggestion from anybody, you know? And it's gotta start somewhere, you know, because we just talked about it. Some guys don't have the opportunity to learn anything anymore, you know? So where, like, when do we have that, like, when do we identify with a time of defeat where we put the ego and pride aside and we go, maybe I can you know, and they call it like that God moment, or, you know, that moment of clarity,
Yeah.
where we can sit back and it just maybe a second, and we can do like a quick inventory on ourselves and be like, where has my track record for the last 20 years of addiction gotten me right now today with my self-knowledge, you know? And that's kind of like where you gotta recognize, and when you throw your hands up and you got, you know, and you go, and this is the question you gotta ask yourself, you know, realistically, is, can I do what I'm doing right now to remain sober and live and maintain the probably few things that I have in life for the rest of my life? Is this enough, right? Because we focus on what we got going on today, right? As much as like we like to cycle ourselves into like the future of 15 years from now, because that's kind of what we do. We got to reel it back in, and we got to focus on what is it that I can put my best forth effort into myself, into others around me. Otherwise, well, you know, there's a little slogan we throw around, is self will run riot. You guys ever get caught up in a 2 or 3 minute timely fashion of insanity? Right? When we fall back into the self, right? And we put that remaining teachable out the window just for a second. For a second, I will go crazy.
Yeah.
In one of my peaceful sanctuaries like that I have now in my life, I will catch myself going insane when I put those things to the side burner, you know. But with a little bit of practice and taking some suggestions and some directions, you know, I've been able to fall back and reflect on it real quick, like, okay, here we go. Like, I know where this is coming from. Let me call another guy, you know. Let me put it on one of my chats that I'm losing my mind right now, you know, and have one of my brothers tell me that I'm an idiot and redirect my thinking.
Sometimes we need that.
Guilty as well.
Yeah.
Me too.
And that is right there, is like where we can sit back and just really shut up and listen to somebody who may be in the moment feeling real good, and when we drift off this way, and they can just like redirect us. It could just be a few words that someone, or something someone will like post or share or just say in a conversation that will redirect me, because I have just remained teachable, not knowing everything, right? The things that have like, that I've put in my path that have led me to destruction, right? That have landed me here. And I've been able to, you know, fall back on these tools that I've gotten from here, in the relationships and the literature and the meditation, right? And all the things that are important to me in my life today to ground me, you know? And there is not a thing that I deny when I know if an individual is working on something like life, that I will apply to my life. And I get it from all you guys, you know? You guys are like people I talk to every single day, right? And I've chosen that for my life. That means it's important to me, because I'm trying to stay alive and be productive, you know, and raise a family and not be financially stressed and not get high ever again. You know, so that's where I'm at with, you know, remaining teachable.
Josh.
I guess I'm next. Told you I wasn't speaking first. So
Just
coming in to rehab, this has been my first experience with this, and I never wanted to get sober before, for any length of time. I did it for selfish reasons, to get my family and friends off my back, and then, you know, just go right back to it. I never had any intentions of stopping prior to coming to ECS, and so I was pretty fucking scared coming here, because I didn't know what to expect. And I was sitting through my first day of groups and hearing Corby and then Doc talk after him, I realized I didn't know anything. Like, I could understand what they were saying and it was applicable to my life moving forward, but I never experienced that type of knowledge before, and it dawned on me that, okay, for your time here, at the very least, you need to sit down, shut up, and listen to what anybody and everybody has to say. And then I started hearing about guys that had been repeat clients, and it brought into perspective, do I ever want that? Like, would I ever be able to face these people as just a staff again and show my face in here without feeling that tremendous shame and guilt? Would I be able to bring myself to come back? And I quickly answered that question, and it was no. And I never want to be put in that situation again. So that was my driving force for my 28 days here, to learn as much as I could so that I didn't have to come back. Not that I didn't appreciate all the help and hard work that everyone was doing to help me, but I never wanted to come back as a client.
And now you
that-
come back every day.
Only because you made me. And then moving, on to sober living, again, something I've never experienced before. I knew that if I didn't go do that, I'd be homeless, and I didn't want to be homeless anymore. Been there, done that, no thanks. And so, again, new experience. Sit down, shut up, and remain teachable. And like, I think it was about a month into it, going to AA, no pun intended, but religiously, multiple times a week. I'm realizing that, again, I know nothing about this, so learn as much as you can. And then I gathered, especially coming to alumni as well, that there's a lot of people in this community that know a lot about this, and I don't. So take it from them. Not maliciously or anything like that, but, we're going up, boss. But these guys have a lot to offer. And you are just starting out, why not take what they are freely giving? And it was so wonderful to be surrounded by that on a daily basis of guys and women alike sharing their knowledge, experience, strength, and hope of what they've gone through and what they're trying to achieve now and what they're doing in the everyday. And it's just so unbelievable. And it happens every single day. I learn something new every day because I don't know shit about folk. And it's just so cool. And between Maddie and Steve, like, I never thought I'd be on the chat with either one of you, and then you guys sending me like videos and readings, and it's just like, it's amazing how much I don't know, and I never want to stop learning. And the phrase that always comes to mind is, the work is never done. And also, progress, not perfection. Like, I always want more, and I'm always gonna want more, because when you achieve more knowledge, you can apply that to your life and you can gain more. And yes, you can gain more financially and, bigger house and all the things, but you can grow as a person. And then, like, my passion and my purpose is to help the next guy. That's what I try to do every day, and the more I learn, the more I can use to help the next guy. And why wouldn't I want to do that if it's directly applicable to what I'm doing? So it's just the thirst for knowledge. I just pray and hope never goes away, because it's just so fulfilling. And that's my take on it.
I think it's like really valuable too, real quick. I think it's really valuable, like the people that like you keep around you too, and like especially like the valuable of like the recovery community, right? Because like you said, we always learn from each other. But like while you guys were talking, and while you were talking about like Corby and Doc, I was like, yeah, they have a way of reminding me that I don't know shit. That's why I like talking to them. Like not like a bad way, like they don't make me intentionally feel stupid, but I'm listening to them and I'm like, oh, these motherfuckers, they know so much. Fuck, I was like, damn. And like I'm learning how to like do this shit here, and always doing like training sessions with Corby and talking to him and talking to you because you're doing it too, you know what I mean? And then like with weightlifting, I talk to you and I learn from you, and I learn from just all you guys. guys is just how you interact, man. And I think that's why, like, the people you surround yourself with is really important too, right? Cause like, I didn't learn shit from the people I surrounded myself with when I was getting high, except for like, how to get arrested, how to whatever, you know.
I hit a new leg.
Yeah, you know, find a vein, some shit. But I'm saying, like, now, like, the people, I'm being honest, okay? It's just, it's very valuable to me, like, the people I choose and to surround myself with, but also you guys that choose to be around me. Because I learn from all you and I continue to learn. So I don't know, to me that's just really valuable, because I was a person that even early on in recovery, like I didn't value the connection as much, right? I didn't, like, I don't know if I was afraid to use it or afraid to talk to people, but I realized like the importance and the value it's had for my life to actually like be engaged and talk to people and have genuine conversations with them and be willing to do that. And it was something that came to mind when you were talking, was like, that was like when things started clicking for me, is when I really became willing to do all this and really realized I didn't know shit. Was like that moment at 3 when basically, like I said, Doc helped me realize that what I thought I knew was nothing and didn't work, and that I should shut up and fucking listen, you know, like you were talking about. And that's when, like, I don't know, I started really thinking, then I started coming around and actually talking to people more, and I started seeing like how much it changed my life and how much I learned from everybody. And I was like, wow, like I can just keep like talking to people and keep learning shit. And yeah, cool.
Definitely.
Like, I know doing groups reinforced it for me. I'm assuming probably for you too. Like teaching other people, like helps reinforce it in your own mind, because like we've done that. You've done that. You've done that. You guys go all over the place doing that kind of stuff, right, in the city. So like, I mean, I don't know, does everybody agree? Like, I think it like absolutely makes me better, even though I already know it, by like teaching it to somebody else. And then listening to what they say, I learn shit.
Yeah.
That's what makes
It's
it
a whole
awesome.
different perspective sometimes.
Yeah. It's like, holy shit. You're sitting here in treatment and you just taught me something. Did you ever think that was gonna happen?
No, but
And they don't, and we're like, okay. And then it like helps them drive, and it's just constant building up of one another. It just, that's the dream.
Yeah, there's no better feeling than, you know, kind of identifying with a couple of guys from the beginning of the beginnings, right? They call it like a reborn date, right? And we decide to try to stay alive again, right? And we all kind of figure out that we don't know shit about Buck, right? And when we can all kind of just like go walk up these steps together, you know, and everybody is just like throwing each other bones, and you know, and every time someone like takes a chop because life shows up, and you know, you got freaking 2 handfuls of guys to like pull you back up, you know, before we make that initial decision to, you know, maybe go kill ourselves, right? 'Cause that's what it is today, like premeditated suicide, right?
Russian roulette.
And that's the stuff that I needed, you know, the stuff that I wouldn't ask for when I first came around. Like it was very difficult to ask you guys for like help when I was struggling. I kind of did it for like a year, you know, when I first came around. I just didn't, because you know, I had it, you know, I wanted to be like you guys. I just had it, right? But I didn't really know what I was doing, you know. And it took that moment where I was like, all right, I can no longer do this on my own. I'm gonna need an army, you know. And I had to just throw my hands up and say, all right, guys, show me what I need to do. What do I gotta do to get this? You know, and it was freely given to me, like just nonstop. And it hasn't stopped, you know, and it's wonderful. You know, it is so wonderful to thrive with a bunch of dudes that are just trying to succeed, you know, and just do the next best thing for their life. There is no better feeling when I get to come see this from you guys. Like, I'm listening to you speak tonight, and I'm like in awe over him, because I've seen him over the last year where he's come from, and I'm like, listen to this guy.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me.
Yeah.
Because I've been around for a little while, and I don't get to see people blossom like this in their recovery too often, and I'm noticing it, And it's filling, this is the fulfillment I get out of the recovery, is seeing guys being willing, remaining teachable, that we just don't know much about nothing, and I'll take what I can to get through the day, and it working, and it working, and it's working, and it's working for guys with years of recovery, guys that are hitting milestones, guys that are just trying to get their feet in the door and be a part of something, like, and that is exactly what keeps me here for this stuff, because it's working for us, you know. It's unfortunate what happens to some of our guys, you know. It is a shame, it is sad, it is heartbreaking, but what do we have to do for them today, you know? One, not use, right? Two, remain teachable, to keep helping each other, you know. Three, not try to fucking do it on our own, because we know what happens, you know. And, you know, we're in pretty good shape, you know, and just, you know, have faith in one another, you know, and I think we'll do well.
I think we're still all trying, I mean, I live it this way, we're still all doing it for those who can't.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's part of it. You know, I like what you said too, like, it's still hard for me to reach out sometimes, cause I used to, not so much as now, I feel like I'm one of the older guys around here, and I'm like, if I fucking say I'm fucked up, what is that gonna do? Like, make this a crazy thing, and when I do, I just get exactly what I need.
Yeah.
It's getting easier, but as far in as I am, it's still hard sometimes.
I
I
know.
don't wanna admit I'm fucking struggling this bad right now.
I see that as a sign of strength. Like, I see vulnerability and asking for help as a sign of huge strength, because it's a practice of humility. Like,
Yes.
not thinking less of myself, but thinking of myself less. Like, hey, I need some help. Like, and what you were talking about, being in awe of like, Josh, having seen your growth over the past year, it really is amazing. And seeing all of our growth over the past year, like you were talking about, just listening to everybody, like, what are we doing right now? We're remaining teachable, because we're all sitting here sharing our experience, and I'm learning as everybody is speaking. And like, I don't know about you guys, but I always wanted to one-up people. I always wanted to sound the greatest. I always wanted to be the greatest. I never sat in awe looking at people, because I wanted to have everything, and I thought that I had it all figured out. So one part of remaining teachable is like, man, like, look at the people around me just doing amazing. Like, I could actually be happy for them today, learn from their experiences. Like I told you guys outside, man, like the fathers here, how you guys take care of your children in early fatherhood. Like, I thrive in that, because I think forward and I take notice of how I can go at when I'm able to be a father, when I meet the right woman, practicing being patient, waiting for the right woman, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to pay no child support. And not only that, but like, there's two types of people. There's people who make mistakes and learn from them, and there's people who learn from other people's mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So,
real intelligence.
Yeah, like,
Glad we just said you're the smartest guy in this room.
absolutely. Absolutely.
I really wish I would have been rolling on that.
That would have been great.
No, real quick, I think like what you were just talking about, bro, is like the perfect example of like, no matter how long we're doing this shit, like we have to continue to be teachable, because over 4 years in, what,
Almost 4.5.
Yeah, it's almost 4.5 years in, you're able to still realize that like, hey, like, yeah, it's difficult because you're a leader, you're a role model, but it's okay, because no matter how far we get in, like, we still don't know everything. We still need to lean on our fucking guys, and we still need to be able to ask for help. If not, like, I mean,
It's probably better to show the vulnerability than not, honestly.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
better
it
example.
is.
Yeah.
it's a strength, because like you said, it's a strength, because it's you still realizing like, dude, like, I can still be helped, I can still learn from other guys, and like, that's okay.
And all you guys have helped me. Pretty much at the drop of a hat, always. I think like what you said too with earlier, like the surrounding ourselves with the right people, that is remaining teachable. You're surrounding yourself with people you can learn from, and vice versa. And it's like a win-win for everybody involved, which is fucking cool as fuck.
I had one of my spiritual advisors tell me to have 3 types of people in your life. Have a man who teaches you, have somebody who's on the same level, not saying anyone's better or anybody's worse, but somebody who's on the same path, like-minded, and have somebody who you could teach to give it away, like Josh was saying, cause that's the only way I could keep what I have is if I give it away.
Agreed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, gents, what do we think? We good? Any final
I
thoughts?
like it.
No, that was cool.
I think that's.
Oh, I gotta add, the newest CADC of this group.
Thank you, thank you.
Hell of a job.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
Alumni was a little strange tonight for me, but it was really cool.
You weren't
Really
expecting
cool.
it.
I was not. I went into Corby's office and I was like, what's this fucking topic that you won't tell me anything about? And he's like, it's you, and I was like, what? He's like I'm gonna talk? He's like, you'll see. I was like, fuck.
You earned that.
So, yeah, it was really cool, man. Thank all you guys. I appreciate all you guys, man. It was cool.
All that being said, thanks for tuning in. Let us know what you think on any of this. We'd love to hear it. Share it if it'll help anybody and pay it forward. That's what we're all trying to do. Make the world a better place, right?
This was fun, guys.
Definitely.
Yeah, I love these groups, man. I appreciate all you guys. This was fun.
This was
Appreciate you.
Yeah, this is good.
All right. Hang on.
See you
Take
guys.
care, everybody.